All right, so we saw Steve's little kit, and we've got it all packed up. Now we've got this kit, which I've used a lot of this on my Pathfinder Basic class. So we've done, you know, so it's pretty set up for your more modern day stuff. Right. So let's take a look at this. So I think you'll be very pleased with what I've got up at the top here. This is a compass. Oh, and my other thing fell out here, and I'll show you what that is here in just a second. So this is my compass, and Steve, this is my real nice compass. I want you to take a look at that.
I like it. This here can be used so many times. I've used it from a tree stand, Travis. Shot an arrow, last place I seen a deer. So I can mark this. Turn it and mark it when I get down. You know, everything when you get down different. Yep. You can use this so many different ways.
Absolutely.
It's a good tool.
Oh, I love
it. Got a signal mirror here.
Yep, got a signal mirror.
Hey, you might have something in your eye.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things that can be used for.
Absolutely, a good compass is just absolutely phenomenal, and I love that. So he didn't have the ability to obviously have compasses back then, but this is a modern day tool that is absolutely a necessity. Right. A necessity. I think you'll like this. So this is something that they told me that I needed for the class. Whoops, there it is. And
it's a needle to know which direction to go if you didn't have nothing?
Nope, this is a sail needle. So this will be to repair things and whatnot. So this is kind of a big, you know, a big old needle, but it's to, you know, put thing to sew with or sew leather with and whatnot. So they wanted me to carry that, and that's funny that he had that.
Exactly.
So, you know, we don't take, you know, we take these small things for granted. Oh, I don't need a needle. Well, you never know.
Exactly.
You never know. So I want to do that. So that's in my top. That was in my top pouch. I'm going to open this up. Open this up. And well, on my side here, just like Otzi had a flint knife, you got to have a knife with you. This knife is one I carry. This is made out of, you know, a good modern day tool steel called 1095. It works real well. It's easy to sharpen this thing. I've got razor sharp, but I've got that in a little leather case, and he had his in a little grass sheath. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, another thing on the side, just like Steve's got here, and what I've got is just a stainless steel water bottle and cup. And boy, I guarantee you, if he had the ability to have a stainless steel water bottle, he'd have it. If Daniel Boone had the way to have a stainless steel water bottle, he'd buy 15 of them. Right. So let's see here. Let's open this up. And what I've got here, you'll like this, is a military poncho. This is a way to keep myself warm or cold, you know, or dry or whatnot, and I can set up shelter with this. Have you ever seen how people do that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So and Otzi, he had kind of the same thing. He had shelters that you know, coverings that he had made. I think, what did he have, a grass skirt that he made?
Well,
what else?
He had not only the clothes he had, but he carried a backpack with all sorts of different things. We'll get into that later, but we'll see more of what he's got. That'll be something we go into. But he carried a get by. Survive. I've got a lot of cordage here, which, you know, I can buy. We have the ability to buy it. He had to make his own cordage, and he had to make his own ropes and stuff like that. So just kind of I've got a set of gloves here. Let's see what else I've got. Got another little poncho, again, for more cover. I've got a saw. I've got that tool saw here, which he carried that axe. And saws didn't come into play in the Americas, honestly, until early to mid 1800s, actually. So if you had a saw, you were living high off the hog. What is that, man?
Yeah, that's called a Baco Laplander saw. Raise that up so people can see above that.
Okay, I like this.
Oh, it's a good one.
You know what I like about it?
Why you like that saw?
Well, a lot of them turn both ways, cut both ways. Just like this right here. Okay, this one here it doesn't cut going that way.
Okay.
It cuts coming back, pulling back to you.
Yes, yes, it is a one-way saw.
And so
now, why do you like the one-way saw
because that way you don't. You see that pull you got right there?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to push that through. You're trying to pull. Now you got some strength here, and you're trying to push it. And if you got your thumb up here like this, see it, and then I'm pulling it back through.
So I like those. It's a Baco lap. It's called a Baco Laplander. Those run about $40, and it's chewing right through that. It'll do that.
Oh yeah, I've got mine. Maybe in the truck.
In the truck. Don't worry about it at the moment. Just
it's probably 40-year-old, 50-year-old.
Probably 40, 50-year-old, but yeah. So but if Otzi had a saw, he would have loved it. I think this is a good modern day thing to have. Let's see what else I've got in here.
All right.
Let's see. I think you'll like this. You ever seen that? This is called a woodsman's wedge. This is made by Marbles. And you know how Otzi had...
That's very similar.
To that axe
but
head.
It's copper.
Correct.
Very similar.
And what you do is you cut yourself with your saw, you cut yourself a piece of wood, and you just screw that bad boy in there. And you use that.
That's exactly what he had.
Exactly. I thought you'd love that.
That's exactly what he had. And it was, I mean, look how far ahead of time. They talked about, the scientists talked about his ability to think, his brain and everything was similar to a computer science right now.
Back then, yeah.
I mean,
because having that wedge, having that copper wedge, he could have done so much with it.
Now, see, you teach an old dog new tricks.
You like that?
I do. I like it a lot because, you know, instead of having to cut you a wooden wedge to split, you know, drive in like you're doing, splitting a rail or splitting something for shelter, you know, this
something
right
like
here.
That. Show the people that.
This does well by you can use a rock on it.
Bingo. So
you make you a wooden, like you did
a little maul.
You make a wooden maul.
So a lot of folks in the outdoor community will use their knives to try to split wood. Right. Here's the deal. I love my knife and it will split the wood, but is it made to do it? That's an argument. That's an argument that people make. This, buddy, you can just cut a regular stick, do that, and just hold it, and you could just beat the snot out of that, and that will split wood till the cows come home.
I love that. That right there. I don't know where you got it at.
I got it on Amazon, but Marbles makes it.
How expensive is it?
$20-30. It ain't much at all.
No.
And that's the best $20-30 you'll buy.
I mean, you know, it's not much heavier than this. Of course, this is cheap stuff.
But still.
You know, this is a $15, $16 set. But it ain't much heavier than this. But also, what it does is, look here, let me show you something.
Yeah, show me that.
That I just thought of. Look here.
It probably fit right in there. Oh, look at there. Just about perfect.
I could take this one cup out. Which, you know, you just basically got 2 cups in it.
Right.
But
that fits perfectly in it, and it don't take any more room in the thing. And that's what the Pioneer. Here's the thing. That's what Pioneers did. They did not bring the daggum when they brought their tools. They had the tool heads and then made their handles when they got there.
Exactly.
That's similar concept. So I bet you know it's funny going back to the old ways, and that's the way Otzi's was. Otzi had that axe, and guess what? I bet you that handle was made 2 or 3 times.
Right.
You could easily fashion the handle,
exactly,
but you can't easily fashion the head. Carry the head with you. I thought you'd love that.
Oh, I do. I think that's something that
modern day Otzi axe head.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I mean that right there is
that's somebody's thinking with their noggin.
That's exactly right. It's one of the things that make you think, why did I think of that?
I love it. So I think you'll like this too. Now this is an older style thing, and you might remember it. This is from kind of your days. This is an old Hudson Bay tobacco tin.
Yep.
And I've got a light with it, and I have got This is my flint and steel set. So just like old Otzi had, I've got that. I've got charred material in here, like Otzi did, of that fungus.
See, what he carried in that, he had, you know, a lot of times it was hard to make a fire. You know, he could use a bow and a drill.
Yes.
And do a friction fire that way with a, you know, bow and a drill. Which he carried extra string cordage that looked like that's kind of what he did. But he had I believe it was bamboo, not bamboo, it was a birch bark or type bark. And he had it wrapped around and he had it smoldering the fire in that and had it in place so it wouldn't ignite.
That's smart.
And then when he got there, then he'd bring it out and the charred would be there and he could actually start a fire instead of having to use the bow drill or the flint, which we know that's hard to get a fire started a lot of times. That's why really and truly it makes a lot more sense for a survival situation that we either have a ferro rod or a big lighter.
Big lighter's the best.
I mean,
absolutely the best.
And so you got a big lighter because you crossed the creek, you fell in the creek.
You're cold.
You're cold. Your buddy needs to get a fire started. Do you want to be doing a flint and steel, or you want to do a big lighter?
Big lighter all day.
You want to carry some something to start a fire like a pine rosin or pine.
They call it fat wood now. They call it fat wood, but basically it's the knot. You know, it's the knot of a pine tree.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to take and have you some stuff like that you can start for. We would have been really good in one of our early series. We was going to do that cook
oh my
cook
gosh,
deal.
I know.
And it
Trust me.
had rained. It was like there was nothing
Dry.
but dry. But having something like this and having dry, what would that done?
It would. Trust me, I know it kills me.
Yeah.
It kills me.
But you learn from your mistakes.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Next thing I've got here is I've got, just like what Otzi had, a little haversack. And that's way you have something to just, hey, I've got this. I can stuff it in here. You know, you pick up things. You have what they call possum mentality. There's always natural resources on the road, and you got to be an easy way to stuff it or get to it or whatnot. So there's your little haversack, and that's used in modern day stuff too. Let's see.
See, I think something like that, or a small belt pack, or something like that, is something that needs to have in our
kits.
Yeah.
There's your little. I use that in my basic course. Show the people that.
Yeah.
Show people that can't raise it up above the tailgate. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's a little leather belt pouch. And that's very traditional. And buddy, that was the most useful thing that I carried with me the whole trip. Because I could easily get my notebook, I could easily get my little pocket knife, I could easily get anything with it. And like you said, people don't understand just how handy these little pouches are.
I've got a small one that I made. I meant to bring you like that.
So I love this thing.
You know,
I'm listening.
You talking earlier? We talking about having a way of a leather punch or something like that. But a nail. A nail, small nail, that you can take and drive into it and make you a hole. It don't take up a room. It's really
at all for it. No, you're right. A nail's a great tool. Wanted to show you this. This is my work sharp little field sharpener. This would be a modern day version of his flint knapping tools. This is a way to keep these modern tools sharp. You know, I can keep this razor sharp. So just like Otzi had a way to keep his stuff sharp and honed, this is an easy way to do it, and it keeps everything, you know, razor sharp. So, and it's not that much to carry with you on there, but it's something that people need to think about. And I know this seems like a lot to people, but you need to think about this stuff. You need to think about this stuff.
I think just like that little kit I give you, something like that a person I'll always have.
Yep.
They got them in their pocket.
Yes, they always need to have something in their
It's
pocket.
always there, and
I heard that. One of the last things I've got in here, and of course you need to carry your fire starting tools, you know. And this is not an all comprehensive kit. This is just what I've got right now, what I could grab. You know, you gotta have your big lighters. You gotta have all that. But here's something you need to think about too that we don't think about at all. This, my friend, headlamp.
absolutely.
And I know that you know, it's like, why, this is definitely a modern day tool that Otzi couldn't carry. But this little headlamp, you don't think about, like, okay, I'm wandering in the woods, you know, it got dark. Guess what? When it gets dark, it's dark out there.
That's where a candle comes in.
That candle comes in, or something like this comes in.
Something.
Yeah, you got to have a way, in my opinion, to, you know, you get up and go to the bathroom, you don't fall and, you know, break your leg, something
Exactly.
like that. You have this light, that way you can see around, do what you need to do, and go from there. Because when God shuts the lights off, they're off, old buddy.
Yeah.
So I think something, you know, it doesn't have to be an expensive headlamp, but just a little headlamp, just something to get you by. This thing is really cool. This recharges with USB little charger, so you can get one of them little battery bricks and you just charge it like that.
That's pretty handy.
The way them batteries, you know, back when I grew up, all we had was AA and AAAs, and they went out in 3 days. They were so expensive and all that. Now this batteries, you can just recharge anything in your phone.
Well, see, the problem is that little kit I give you, 25-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I forgot what all put in it. But what if I had batteries in there? What would happen?
Oh, they would have corroded everything, gone bad.
I mean, you know, remember our fishing trip?
Yep.
And we got that can of corn, 10-year-old. Trout liked it, but it was close to me. I'd have really been hard pressed to eat it.
Yep.
Person needs to think before next step. You know, you're here at your dad's house, and I'm sure your dad, being who he was, that he would say, if in case of a fire, this is what we're going to do. I'm sure he did.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that, you know, everybody had a plan that when we got out to come around the big tree, or wherever it may be, the flagpole, wherever you had, at the mailbox, wherever it was, you had your plan. Then you looked and counted heads, and it's seen if somebody's missing.
Right.
You know who to go get. You know what the situation. You know where they should be. And that, if you think about it, what we're trying to do, we know who we believe in.
Absolutely.
We know that there's a time and a place of everything. We know that there's always natural disasters. We know that where we live at in this area, that we depend on TVA in this valley, that floodwaters could take a dam out. The dam could shut down. You could all of a sudden not have no water. You could all of a sudden not have no electricity. You need to have something that you can get by for a period of time, and a way of communicating with your loved one that may be at work at this time when they have no way. So you got to have a plan, and I'm hoping that in this series that we start doing, we can start acting out or
Practicing scenarios.
Practicing scenarios, because I was a pretty good baseball coach. But what do you do if the ball's hit to you, you're playing second base, and we have one out, and there's one runner on first, and what are you going to do?
So we're going to talk about scenarios. So in our third episode of scenarios, we'll talk about a scenario that, you know, and like I said, stay with us. We're going to do a third video, and we'll talk about kind of why y'all need this. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for Tman. This is Tcarp signing out.